Right, well, welcome back, everybody. That was a really interesting session, very closely tied in with what we did in the last couple of sessions, in fact, but talking about engaging members, looking after members, what activities we can give them and so forth. Really interesting stuff, so thank you for that. Right, we're going to take a 5-minute leg stretch now. Back sharp, please, in 5 minutes. Bill will put a timer on the screen, I expect. And then we've got a really, really interesting speaker. So you'll look forward to that and you'll hear all about her when you come back. 5-minute break. Thanks very much. Well, welcome back, everybody. And I hope you managed to get yourself another cup of tea or top up the glass of wine or whatever it is we're on today. Welcome back. And now it gives me the pleasure to introduce DGE of 1020, Duncan Collington, who's going to then introduce your speaker for the next 35 minutes. So over to you, Duncan. You have to take yourself off mute.
Thank you very much indeed, Dennis. Before we move on, please can I remind everyone that any questions you may have in this session should be addressed to Questions Chris Davis. You'll find her as one of the participants in the chat box. Please don't raise your hand either virtually or physically. Anyway, I am now really delighted to introduce Monika Kočiová. Monika comes from Slovakia, and she is a member of the Slovak Chamber of Commerce and Industry. She is also a Rotaractor. However, as you may know, Slovakia has a land border with Ukraine, and Monika has been helping refugees at the border. Such amazing and inspirational work. And I would like to say a huge Rotary thank you to her on behalf of all of us here for taking the time to talk to us today. So now over to Monika, who will be talking with Chris Davis regarding the current situation at the border. Monika.
Hi, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me today.
Hello, Monika. It's lovely to see you again. And thank you very much from all of us, as Duncan says, for giving up your time to speak to us. I wonder if you would just like to start by just telling us a little bit about yourself and what you're experiencing at the moment. So over to you.
Sure. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, I would like to say that I would love to be here talking about Rotary and Rotaract as we were originally agreeing to do. As Duncan mentioned, I am actually the director of the Chamber of Commerce here in our region in Slovakia. I'm Rotaractor, but I'm also Rotarian at the moment in the Košice Club, Rotary Club Košice. And I'm also the assistant Rotary coordinator for our zone. And at the moment, at these difficult times, I'm also the spokesperson for our district regarding the international aid. I'm really sorry, I'm quite tired.
Sure you
so my thoughts are all over. Well, for the past few days, actually, what have been happening here, it's really it's emotional and it's really huge. It's really impressive how the community, but also Rotary, has managed to assist, to send humanitarian assistance to be of help. We are all housing people at our houses. We are helping at the borders, facilitating transportation either to Slovakia or to Western Europe. We are also having different initiatives and projects at the moment. So, I believe we will get to that with more questions.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think you said that you were going to actually go down to the border and be working there this week. So would you like to tell us a little bit about that? Thank you.
Yeah, well, on Tuesday, I decided to go directly to the border. to the border crossing. Actually, well, as Slovakia, we have 3 border crossings, 2 for cars, and 1 only for people going by foot. We were part of, well, the NGOs helping there. I have to say, well, it was a very humbling experience. You can see people just like you and me, you know, like normal people crossing, mostly women and children, elderly, and foreigners. They are very calm, very peaceful. They don't even want to receive any help. Of course, they are tired. The waiting lines are up to 48 hours. And on the Slovak side, it's okay. But on the Ukrainian side, you know, the lines are getting bigger and bigger, and they are waiting for hours.
So you want to go?
I wait.
Now, Alex, is it possible to mute that person who's?
Thank you. So you see, you know, mothers with small babies and children who have been waiting for around 2 days, waiting in cold. On the Ukrainian side, there is no food or blankets, hot tea, you know, like they're just getting organized. So when they arrive to our border, we take them somewhere warm, give them food, also provide information. There are telecommunication operators giving them SIM cards, and then different NGOs and also the government of Slovakia taking them to bigger cities or directly to Prague or Germany, wherever they're willing to go. So they get all the support. They can also ask for official asylum status in Slovakia. So they are just getting all the help there, but we are expecting actually today large numbers of mothers and children crossing.
Thank you. So when they cross, do you, obviously your immediate need is to look after them and give them what they need, but how do you keep them together? How do you record the families and take the data?
Well, there are people on spot, you know, who know already what to do. And it's very well organized, actually. So you basically, I mean, they at the borders, they take all the data, you know, so that's all taken care of. But then you have volunteers who are just, you know, like taking all the data necessary, and then they are trying, because we are, so some of them now, the wave that is coming, they normally have families or friends in Europe, so they know where they are going.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them they don't, and they just want to wait close to the border, either, you know, like in Slovakia, I've heard in Poland is the same, so they believe they will be able to go back soon, and so they just want to stay and wait. And we are just taking them to schools, hotels, wherever. And then, you know, you have all the volunteering staff, like helping them, assisting them, and so on, working with them. They get medical and psychological help, so that's all taken care of.
So they have both mental health as well as their physical health being attended to. Yeah. And is this provided by your government, or is
yes.
This, yeah.
Yes, and also by NGOs, Red Cross, Caritas, you know, there are different organizations who are like specializing in this kind of help. Also, International Migration Office is at this on the spot. So basically, yes. But what we are expecting, well, the first wave was okay, you know, because people were just crossing. And actually, as we are from Košice, which is like 100 kilometers from the border, like the strongest city with the strongest club, you know, nearest to the border. And they are just, you know, like transiting. They want to rest on the way. But then the second and the third wave coming will be much worse, because they will have no idea. And already I was today talking to the manager of the crisis centers, and she was like, they don't know where they want to go, you know, because we have Rotarians from Germany and Austria. They want to come with buses and take them, but she told me like they're, you know, they still don't know. They have no idea. So we need to like give them time, and then maybe with a few days ahead they will be able to decide like what they want to do. But obviously they're all in shock, you know. They just wake up in the morning, then they travel normally for 5 to 6 days to get to the border because they have to stop because of the bombing. And then when they get here, they say, you know, like, we feel this is just a nightmare and we don't know what's going on, you know, we just took the kids and escaped. So
5 to 6 days. So are they able to have food with them when they board the buses, or
yeah, well, some of them go by cars, you know, or they leave the cars at their friends in different cities across the border. But normally they just have, you know, like, that's really like amazing. They just have bananas, you know, and some sandwiches, but they don't want anything. They are like really very humble. They're very strong and proud, but yeah. So it's not like, you know, like seeing maybe whatever we have seen so far in Europe in the past decades, because this is like really not the people who need, who have the economical need to escape. You know, this is like a survival question.
We're hearing that the people have gone as much as possible underground in order to be safe from the shelling and things. So typically, how long will they have been underground before they actually even get to the borders with you?
It really depends, because most of the people we have received so far, they were able to escape first moments. Yeah, so those who are still in the shelters or underground, you know, they are not able to escape. So we are seeing families who are divided, or, you know, we are helping our business partners and of course Rotarians. But those who are escaping now, for example, from Kiev, they go through Moldova, because that's easier, you know, like, it really depends. And it's much now at the moment, it's safer to stay in the shelters than to travel. So basically also the people which will be coming now are those who, you know, left their cities a few days ago. Yeah. Because they travel then to the east of the country, I mean to the west of the country, and they stay in Lviv or Uzhgorod, somewhere where they have friends and family, and then they continue the road. Okay,
thank you. You can imagine that the questions that are coming thick and fast from the people here today. One of them is saying clubs in Ireland and the UK are currently collecting aid. How do we get them to your centres and to the volunteers?
Well, it depends what kind of help it is, if it's material or if it's financial. What we do and what we have been able, and that's really impressive in our district, is we have started a few days ago a train going from Czech Republic to Ukraine. It's a direct train taking humanitarian aid inside of Ukraine, and then taking 600 to 700 people every day out of the country. So that is one of the programs that we do. But the other huge project, which we just, I think, concluded like the preparation yesterday, is that we, as one of the very few, well, the only organization in the border region, will be able to send trains by the broad gauge railway to the inlands of Ukraine. So we will not be only sending, you know, the material to Uzhgorod, which is quite close, but to Kiev and everywhere where it's so necessary. And those will be like huge amounts, you know, like big trains every day. So we will be, and we are collecting money to buy food, well, hygiene, baby clothes, whatever is necessary, but that will be in really big amounts. Today we are sending, for example, 2 trucks of medicine, with the amount of 40,000 euros. So the help is, you know, like all the time going out, and we have partners as Tesco who are giving us, you know, like how much we buy, they give us the same amount for free. So so there are different ways how you can help. Also, the material help is very okay if you are willing to send it by plane. If not, there is this well, bank account which is transparent. Also, Rotary International made a list of all the bank accounts in all the neighboring districts, which I'm sure you have at your disposal. And what I would like to say is, I know that there has been this Rotary International account, disaster aid account set up where you can help, which is also perfect solution. But I think what is most needed at the moment are the districts bordering Ukraine, which is Hungary, Poland, Slovakia, and well, Moldova, which are those helping the most at the spot and being able to send the biggest help.
You must be emotionally drained, as I'm sure the people that you're working with are as well. Are you receiving any help?
No. I'm not. I should be, but we don't have the no. Well, that's a good question. But we really don't have time for anything at the moment, you know, like it's like all work all the time, and it's very much okay. But you know, like seeing what we are able to achieve, how we can help, you know, like 2 days ago, me personally, I just helped 30 people to find a home for the next year. So, you know, that is the best reward. And I think that's what, yeah, I think it's what you get and what helps you to go through.
I'm sure. Thank you. People are also concerned that you are being looked after. And what do you believe is the most how can we help Rotarians and Rotaractors, as you said, who are on the border? Is money the best thing to send them, or is there going to be a time when they run short of things like we've been told about shelter box, and we've been told about the water aid and things? Are you already seeing that there is a need for physical things to be sent as well?
Well, at the moment, we are still able to buy what we need. But for example, to just show you, yeah, a real example, we are now buying like warm jackets and sleeping bags, and we bought everything that was available. You know, so what we do is we prefer to like buy huge amounts and send everything possible, and then we are hoping to get the money. But there will be for short times, and the times are coming when we will be short on the stocks, you know, like here. So we have partnership with Austrian districts who already know that we will need, you know, like certain help also in this regard. For example, yesterday night we received our two partner clubs from Austria, who just, you know, like reacted very quickly, and they brought us today like 6 pallets of like diapers, baby food, water, things like that. They brought it. We were just today, a truck went with all of those things, and we are in touch with their district, so they know we will be sending them the list of concrete material products if there is anything that we cannot get here. But you know, like this is the quickest way. If we can get it from Slovakia in this case, we can get it directly to the train and just send it immediately. So at the moment, that's the best solution, but I'm sure there will be different times coming as well.
What is your biggest fear about what is coming next?
Well, that Ukraine will not be enough. And that, well, Russia will not be stopping at anything. You know, I don't think there is any ratio in what's going on. So I'm really not sure, you know, like we are a member of NATO, of course, but I still fear that, you know, there are no lines in this war and that Ukraine will not be enough.
We've got, thank you for that. We've got people really becoming very concerned too that people may not be safe waiting on the borders. I mean, are buses and trains still running within Ukraine in a way that would enable them to get to the borders safely?
They are not traveling by trains and buses. People are traveling by cars mostly. So I haven't heard about anybody traveling by bus, to be honest. So that's what I said, you know, like now I think, I don't want to say it that way, but like economically stronger parts of the nation are escaping, I believe, you know, those who can, those who have families abroad, etc. So there are no trains or buses running in Ukraine, as far as I know at the moment, you know.
So other people are saying that they would like to be able to send some sort of counselling support via Zoom for Rotarians and Rotaractors who are involved in these traumatic experiences. Do you think that that would be of help, or is?
I think, well, I'm sure it would be. But I don't see the time, you know, like we would find at these, you know, like these are like very pressing moments, you know, like the priority is being helpful. Do I look that bad that you think we all need to help?
No, not at all. But we are seeing a lot here about what are very, very upsetting scenes for us that I think, on the contrary, you look very much in control and things. But this is such an unprecedented occurrence to happen in 2020 in 2022 in Europe, and I think even for us it feels as if it's close to home, and for you actually experiencing that, it must be awful. It's.
We're still okay comparing to what's going on in Ukraine.
Well, I suppose that's it, isn't it? Everything is relevant.
Yeah.
Yes, or relative. Yeah.
But it's, you know, like you live a different reality, you know, like I can even see that people in Slovakia who are living in Bratislava or different, you know, like further from the border, you don't feel it that much. But here in Košice, in my city, it's you can feel it because they are just, you know, you go to the station and you really see something you haven't seen in your life, you know, like, I mean, yes, when you were traveling, but not in Europe. And it's amazing. Today I was just thinking, you know, like going through the center and you see all the restaurants, hotels, everybody offering something, everybody having Ukrainian flags all over, people coming to the station, you know, like families taking foreigners to their living rooms, just, you know, to first stay for a night. So like really the power of the community, it's just unbelievable. It's beautiful.
There are people here who want to help your club and to perhaps provide support to the club and your district. Is that something that you see as realistic over time?
In what do you mean? I don't really understand. Realistic in what way?
Well, I think at the moment we're all feeling that we want to help you. The chat is absolutely full of people who want to help you, and I guess what I'm asking is can you suggest the best way that we can help you at the moment and perhaps in the future?
Sure. Well, at the moment, well, I can send you, you know, like our materials about what we're doing, and I'm representing the district today, not only my club. It is, well, a coincidence that we are one of the border clubs, but the coordinators of the whole district are here at the moment because we are the closest. So I'm sure you can help us in a huge way by supporting us, mostly financially at this moment, really, because we are buying these huge amounts, really, of food, durable food and hygiene, clothes, etc. That would be a huge help and a great help. And well, in the future, let's see how everything goes, you know, like also some kind of, for example, pharmaceuticals and medicine. That is a part that is really difficult, let's say. I don't, this is just to describe the situation for you. So for example, like we are not able to take out medicine which are for prescription, but we were able to talk to the Ministry of Health and they gave us exceptions. So we were able to buy those medicines that I told you for 40,000 euros. And the minister gave us like the exception for 48 hours. So we are taking them out now, but that is the last time that we are able to do that. But for example, if foreign country would do that, it would be possible because you know, like the package would be just transiting the country. So maybe in the future, that will be the most relevant way to help.
That would be marvelous. Thank you, because we've got a lot of people here on the call that aren't just from these 4 districts. So okay. If you could let us know that, Monika, and give us the details, that would be marvelous, because we all want to help and just really admire what you're doing. And there's also some concern in the chat about whether people are actually safe when they get to the border. At the moment, are they, when they get there, are they able to move through freely, or is there some resistance still from the Ukraine side that prevents them from coming forward easily?
Actually not, like they're letting them go, not men. So only fathers who have 3 children, they are able to leave, but other men are not able to leave the country. So yeah, but apart from that, everybody is able to leave. They don't even need to have passports. They're just leaving with their IDs. Yeah, so that is fine.
Good, thank you. In response to what you've been saying about sending money, people are asking for details again, you know, about which banks to put it into, and also very much the pharmaceuticals, whether we could send it. You're saying don't try to send it to you, but to send it directly through the post. And yeah, this is the sort of thing that is really useful for us, because we are all desperate to help, I must say. You know, we're Rotarians wanting to help. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And just to add, well, what we are doing is that we are working with the Rotary clubs on the other side. One member of my club, it's a former governor of the Ukrainian district. So we are working mostly with the administration inside of Ukraine, and that's how we get, and we know that the material we send, it's well distributed, you know. So we choose where it goes. It's mostly hospitals, you know, and our Rotary partners across Ukraine. And yeah, so I will just send you all the information with the bank accounts and also the pharmaceuticals. Just to tell you, we have, since the first day, we have different committees within our district responsible for example, food, transportation, pharmaceuticals. So if there is anybody who would like to help with pharmaceuticals, I can get you in touch with them, with the committee, because they are, you know, like the owners of the pharmacies and distributing companies. They have the best information, and they would assist you in this regard.
That would be brilliant. Thank you. The other thing that occurs to us as well is that there will be a need to replace what's been coming out of your country, and there will be a need to rebuild, obviously, in Ukraine. Are you thinking as far as global grants and even district grants, because I think people here would be very open to partnering with you on that sort of basis as well.
Well, thank you. Actually, you know, like what makes it even stronger for us is that we are 2 clubs here in Košice, and the other club had a global grant just this past few years with Ukraine.
Oh,
so the connections, yeah, the connections are very strong. We are thinking also in this regard, but you know, at the moment, for example, our district has shifted all the district grants and all the money possible to helping Ukraine. So we are actually not going to have our PEPS, probably not the district conference. Also, the district grants are going to go to the help of Ukraine. But at the present moment, we are really, you know, like in the first stage of the immediate help. But I'm sure that the question of, you know, like midterm and long-term projects will come. Let's hope we'll have a chance to do that as well.
That would be good. And already people are saying that there is a Rotary Great Britain and Ireland task force dealing with cash and medicines. So,
oh, great.
So through this conversation, we're able to identify the people that we should be sending that detail to. So
great.
That's marvelous. Thank you.
I saw a question what medicine is needed. We have a complete list from Ukraine, you know, like with a very detailed list. So we are able to pass that on.
That's great. Thank you. And I think this is the joy for me and everybody who's here, is that we can talk to you directly and get this detail that we wouldn't otherwise be able to get. And so thank you so much just for coming and being prepared to give up your time to do that. If there was a particular thing that you could, taking Jennifer Jones's imagine, if you could imagine just something that could happen apart from what is the obvious one, but can you imagine that you and your district were particularly like, that might seem frivolous, or something that we could just give to you that would make you feel supported by the Rotarians in Great Britain and Ireland?
I think we already feel supported, and I'm very privileged to be here with you today, and I'm very thankful that you're giving us the time to tell you what's going on the spot. And well, to respond to your question, I cannot really say at the moment, you know, it's all very chaotic. Well, yesterday the Rotarians we received from Austria said that, you know, like that it's a huge chaos, but you can see that it's very well organized, and they were impressed by the infrastructure we have built so far in really few days. It has been 5 to 6 days. So I cannot really tell you at the moment, you know, I just really wish that we are able to set up a system that is working at the borders. You know, like what we are dealing with now is transportation of people from the borders, you know, in a systematic way. So yeah, we have districts reaching out who want to come really with buses, but as you know, it's not the problem of Rotary, but the state administration, who is also, you know, like figuring out how to deal with all of the issues. So I just really wish that, you know, like we have a working system at the place really soon. But we are all working, and you know, like I'm calling as Rotary to the state administration or the regional administration, and they are really all welcoming the help, because they're also, their capacities are very limited. So if we can help as Rotarians, that is, I think that is what we can do the best.
Thank you. There is enormous warmth coming from, as you can imagine, the people around here. Gosh, I'm getting quite too. So please just know that we want to help in any way that we can, and we I think one of the things that would be nice, if you don't mind, is if we can share this interview with other Rotarians so that they know that, you know, that there is a way that we can help you, and that I hope you feel that we are supporting you and sending our thoughts, and just can't imagine the strain that you're under. But if we can do anything, even after we finish this interview, you think of something, please just drop me a line and let me know, because it has just been wonderful that you've been here. So
thank you so much.
It really don't want to hold you up too much, because you'll be wanting to go back to doing the work you're doing. And that's just one question I'm going to ask you, is how are you managing with your own private life and your own life, and doing all this is wonderful?
I don't have any private life at the moment. To be very honest, I don't like, I shouldn't be saying this, but like, I'm not able to work these days, you know, and I would love to, but I just can't, you know, like the phones are ringing all the time and I'm all the time, you know, somewhere. So, and we have big things coming up in my work, and I will have to get back to that very soon, but it's just not possible, and the priorities are, you know, like in a different place at the moment. So we are trying, all of us, I think, are pushing, you know, like our individual lives at site. And these days are really, I think, the most important, you know, like the actual quick help, it's what we can do. We really hope that the situation will get better, even though, being realistic, it will not. But I think these are the critical times for us. So well, service above self, as we say, right?
We do, Monika, and I'm just going to finish, because we have to let you go, but I just like to read to you the last 3 messages that I've got here.
If I'm gonna cry, don't read them, because I'm too tired.
Well, I think you did it. We've got a wonderfully impressive woman, still looking great, so you're not looking straight. You are a shining example, Monika. Take care, and Monika deserves a PHF award for what she's doing. I think we would all agree with that. So thank you so much for your time, and take our warm regards to all of the other Rotarians there, but indeed all the people of your country that are helping. So
well, thank you so much for having me. Please, my contacts are available. You have my email. I will send you my number if anything. If you need more information, I will send it to you as well, and we are in touch. Also, if you know, like, if you need further details, or if you have a quick Zoom sometimes, we can do that, and I'm at your disposal. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, and well, I'm saying and sending my best regards to all of your districts and countries as well.
Thank you so much, Monika. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Monika. That's absolutely wonderful. Well done, and congratulations on all the work that you're doing, and pass our best wishes from the whole of Great Britain and Ireland to all your Rotary colleagues and friends and family, because you're doing a marvellous job, a shining example of what Rotary can do in these situations. And we know that there's lots of other Rotarians working hard as well along those borders in the other countries too. And well, we've got the contacts, we've got the details, and there are, as Chris said, a number of initiatives going on right now, collecting money and goods to get them out to you. So well done. Thank you.
Thank you as well, and have a nice rest of the pets, all of you.
We will. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, well, fellow Rotarians, that was wonderful, wasn't it? And I think, as I said, a shining example of what Rotary is capable of. And it really is a tough one to follow, but someone has to. And we're now into the next district-led topic, and one that is crucial to every club in GBNI, which of course is membership. As with foundation presentation, we're going to listen to for 30 minutes, and then we're going to have a final 20-minute breakout to close the day. So it gives me great pleasure now to pass over to Alistair, Robb and David Breton to take the stage. And Alistair and David are going to take us through some membership details. Thanks very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Dennis. And you're a very difficult act to follow, isn't it? It's,
absolutely.
But what a fantastic person. Anyway, we'll get on with this. We only have 30 minutes. So unfortunately, there's not going to be any time for questions as we go, but please email me later with questions or put them into the chat. Hopefully they'll get back to me. I'm happy to discuss anything in depth at a later date. Can I have the first slides up, please? And the next one. Okay, so the title of our talk today, Hints, Tips and Ideas to Increase Membership in Rotary. And if we can have the next slide now, please. The first question really is, what does your club do? And that's not coming up properly on my screen. That's better. And please have a think about this, because it's a very, very important part of this session, and we will come back to it later. But what does your club do? Next slide, please. I'm going to start off. I'm not a big facts and figures person, but here are some facts and figures for you. From the people who joined Rotary, 46% joined to serve their community. 46% of people in 2020 joined to serve their community. 17% joined for friendship. But the very important part here, 87% were introduced by another member. And what this says is that our clubs and our members are the key to increasing our membership. Next slide, please. And for Rotary members again during 2020, of those that stayed Rotary members during that year, 42% of them stayed to serve their community. 38% stayed for the friendship, 6% stayed for personal growth. But again, our clubs and our members are also the key to retaining our membership. Can I have the next slide, please? I'm going to talk now about what I call the 5 Ps of membership. And for me, we're going to talk about each of these key parts of recruiting new members. And we have to get these right. We have to get all of these right. There have been clubs that have had limited success that maybe only get 3 or 4 of them. But really, if you can put all 5 of these Ps together, you will get success in your recruitment. Next slide, please. The first one is people. And your club members, as we already said, the club members are the key in this whole process. And what I will ask clubs to do is put their best face forward. Make sure you are being represented by people who actually will show your club at its very best. Use the best person to promote your club, a good, interesting speaker, not someone male, pale and stale, as they say. Someone who reflects the image of the club that you want the public to see. And make members aware that every event is a membership event. Always be ready and able to speak to potential members. Next slide, please. The next thing is price. As you'll see here, Rotary membership currently costs less than £1.50 a week, less than £80 a year. Any other expense to that should be optional. So we ask the question, can we make Rotary affordable to everyone? And the answer to that is yes. Many clubs are now collecting their subs quarterly, monthly, even weekly. Can your club do that as well and help to spread the cost for people, especially now, economically, we're not in the strongest place we've been in a long time. Maybe helping spread the cost can do something. And what are your options for members who, for example, don't want to come along every week and eat an overpriced meal? Can you do something where some people come along, eat first, and then you can have the rest of the group join later for a business part of the meeting? Can you change to no meal at all? There's many options and many bits in between, but really look at the cost of your meeting. Is your venue too expensive for their drinks and things like that? Oh, something going wrong? Can we get back to the screen?
Yeah, 1 second.
That's great, thank you. No, back one. Thanks. So yeah, as I was saying, is your venue too expensive for drinks and things like that? And do you expect your members to subsidise your fundraising events? Are you always looking to members to buy tickets and do sponsorship and donate raffle prizes? Is there any way you can spread the cost of that around a wee bit? Next slide, please. The next thing is the place. And I'm going to pose a question here. Are we too interested in meals and meetings? Are we far too focused on the meals and the meetings? Younger, busy people want to be active and they want to feel that they're giving service. Formal meetings don't really interest them. Trust me, we've looked at this. Formal meetings will not interest a younger person. Informal planning meetings over a cup of coffee, that's the sort of thing that they want to do. That's how they want to be involved with Rotary. £10 or £15 a week meals just don't attract them. So your current setup may suit your existing members. They may be more than happy to come along because the fellowship has been a big thing for them over the years. But does your setup suit new, younger people? And have a think about that. Can new, younger people afford to be a member in your club? Do they see your meetings as being productive, or are they just a social event? Can you offer an alternative? Can you offer a different day, a different venue, a satellite meeting, something like that to give people an alternative to the traditional setup? And can some of your meetings just be purely service-based out there in the community? Does everyone have to be sitting down with a meal? I'd suggest probably not. Next one, please. This is the important one, and this gets us back to what does your club do, and that is the product, the fourth of the P's. Are you active and attractive, and do you have a signature project? You may have heard the phrase, it's what we do that matters. And that, I think, is probably the most important phrase in Rotary and in membership. Do people want to join your club? Is there something there that they're going to be interested enough to say, I would like to get involved with that? Do you have that signature project that pulls people in, that attracts people to your club? Do they even know that you're looking for members? I spoke to someone recently at an event, not a Rotarian, who said that they didn't know that Rotary needed members. They thought it was a closed shop, and you know they weren't aware that they could just ask to join. We're not making that clear to the public. We need to let them know that actually we do want new members. Is the club attractive and is it open to everyone? Or does it just look like an old man's dinner club or lunch club? It needs to be attractive and it needs to be open. And are there any barriers to membership? We've already discussed the cost, but there may well be other barriers to membership that you're not even aware of. Is your programme interesting and varied? Are your projects attractive to the public? And are your meetings fun, or are they too formal? Do you have chains and toasts and prayers and a dress code and all these sort of things? We need to get away from that. We need to get to informal, service-based clubs. And the next thing is, what will a new member get out of joining? Because that's the most important thing. For someone to want to join your club, they have to know what they're going to get out of it. Can I have the next slide, please? The answer to that is to focus on their benefits, not your needs. Now, we all know that we need members. We all know that there's a shortage of people to come through and be presidents and things like that, and how many of you out there are being recycled. We know internally that we need these people, but that is not what's going to attract them. We've got to focus on the benefits to the people concerned, that they're going to be able to come in and make a difference and serve their community, that they're going to be able to use their skills and their talents, that they're going to be able to meet others in the community and exposure for them or for their business. That's quite important. And working for a cause they believe in, but you've got to make sure to give them that cause to believe in with having that signature project, but having that one thing that they can say that they're proud to be a part of. Back to what does your club do? And then the benefit to them of just being able to get out there and help other people. That's going to be crucial for gaining membership. Next slide, please. The final P is promotion. We've got here 5 steps to promoting your club and therefore attracting new members. And the first thing is just ask. As we said, 41% of people are more prepared to volunteer if they're directly asked to do so. And we've already shown that 80% of people join Rotary because an existing Rotarian asks them to get involved. But we've got to get out there and we've got to ask. We've got to go online. We've got to make better use of our social media platforms, our Facebook, our WhatsApp, all of these sort of things. Facebook is absolutely essential, but only if the posts, therefore the product that you're selling, is good. If you haven't got a good product, Facebook will only make your situation worse. Learn how to use shareable content. It boosts your posts and it boosts your reach. For instance, my own club did a kids art competition. We got over 100 new followers from it, but 17,000 people saw the post. That's in a fairly small rural area, and over 7,000 engagements, which are likes, comments and shares. So if you've got the right product, Facebook works, but you have to get the right product. Use freebies. Take every chance for free publicity. Use local radio, use Gumtree, use your local shops. If your club uses collection tins, and you should be using collection tins, make sure that the label on the collection tin is advertising your club and the fact that you need new members. Get out there and be seen. Every fete, every gala, every Christmas fair, every market possible. Get out there, go to bonfires, fun runs, Santa sleigh events, car rallies. You will be able to see and speak to hundreds of people, thousands of people, but be ready to speak to them. And again, focus on the benefits to them, not on what you need, but focus on what they can get out of becoming a Rotarian. And create relationships. Work with the Scouts and the Girl Guides and the Sea Cadets and the Air Cadets and the nurseries and the schools and the community environmental groups, the food bank, the church, the community councils, sheltered housing, youth sports clubs, befriending groups. Volunteers absolutely love to volunteer. These are the people that are already out there in your community. They're just Rotarians that don't have the badge yet. That's all they are. Next slide, please. The last slide said, just ask. And we've got to have some ideas for how to ask people. So the first one is, and each one bring one event. Now, I know an awful lot of the arguments to this, people are older, they're not working any longer, they have fewer contacts, but you must have grandsons or sons and daughters. Your butcher, your joiner, the guy who fixes your computer. There's no end of possibilities. That's how I got started. I was the guy who fixed a Rotarian's computer, and look at where it got me. Galas, fetes, fairs, car boot sales, markets. We've spoken about these events already. The larger things, bonfires, concerts, fun runs, Rota Kids, Interact, Rotaract, Primary School Quiz, Ryla, Make every single event out there a membership event. You can do it. You should have a membership person in your club who is looking at every one of these things that your club does and making sure they become a membership event. Next slide, please. And if you want to get people to ask, start a conversation and get people to ask you. It's been tested, it works. Badges, t-shirts, pull-ups. Do something different. Dress up in costumes, wear loud shirts, but be ready to stand out and be ready to answer the questions. When people say, you know, okay, tell me about Rotary, you have to be ready with that answer. But trust me, it does work. People will ask, and they will, if you have the right product for them, they will get involved. Give every member a card with some ideas on it and sell what's in it for the new member. Next slide, please. And what I would also suggest is that for every event, you have a membership toolkit, a small stock of flyers, business cards with contact information, a pen and a paper to get names and details, and be prepared to talk to everyone either individually or as a group. Sorry, back please. Let people know that Rotary is open to absolutely everyone, and let people know that we actively want new members now. Be open and transparent, and again, make sure that you have a product worthy of selling. Now, everyone now will be going into breakout rooms, and the next slide is some questions on the screen which will help hopefully your discussion as it goes along in the breakouts. Next slide, please. This will actually hopefully give you some things to discuss and some ideas going forward. Happy, as I say, to take any questions, and thank you all very much for listening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Are there any immediate questions come in, Chris, into your questions box?
One of the questions that is coming up, in fact, on a lot of the sessions that we've had, are the slides available for people, please?
Are they? Can they be made available, Alistair?
I'm happy to give the slides to anyone that needs them.
Thank you, Alistair.
Yes, we can.
Brilliant. So that'd be really useful, and ditto for the earlier foundation ones. They were really useful as well, I think, as a set to refer to. Thank you very much indeed. Any other questions, Chris, or is that?
No, I can't see any others at the moment, Dennis. Thank you.
Well, we were not encouraging questions because we know that we're going to go now into a breakout session. So we're going to break out for 20 minutes now to address some of those things that were put up on there, and we'll hopefully get those back on the screen within the breakout rooms. Well, thank you very much for that. That was a great session once again. Didn't have enough time. That was the sadness of that one, because membership is such a hot topic. But thanks, Alistair, for the input on that one. And yeah, we've got some good signature events that we talked about, and we're looking forward now to the public image one tomorrow afternoon, because as we all know, public image and membership go hand in hand. And personally, I think that public image should lead membership, because without it, we're not going to get known out there. So welcome back once again. With that, I thank you all for your attendance and participation for the day. We've had a couple of really good sessions today, and there's just one to go. So with that, we'll be back in the room, the same Zoom link tomorrow at 13:30 start, but do come on board at 1:15 to see the videos again. Get everyone together early, see the videos, and we'll make a prompt start at 13:30 at this, your Scotland and Ireland multi-district president-elect preparation event. It's going really great. So thank you again, and have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow.